Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of World Championship Wrestling.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Television Championship.
I'm Josh. I'll be with you for the next 2 hours. We are coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Another sold-out crowd to witness great wrestling action. Thank you so much for tuning in. First up, we have a World Television title match. The Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff challenging the newly crowned champion, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Last week at Beach Blast, Dusty Rhodes defeated the Enforcer Arn Anderson to capture the title at Clash of the Champions 4. What a matchup it was, and unfortunately Arn Anderson sustained an injury during that matchup, and he'll be on the shelf for at least 3 weeks, I'm being told. He is expected to return to compete in the Lethal Lottery coming up in October. Also bad news for the Horseman Ric Flair, suffering an injury in that world title match after he was thrown into a steel barricade by Magnum TA, the world heavyweight champion. Flair, of course, also expected to make a speedy recovery, although it may be a few weeks before we see the Nature Boy back in action again. And more bad news for the Horseman. Barry Windham was injured a couple weeks ago, and he is expected to return in the coming weeks. The Four Horsemen definitely limping, but I know each member, and they are strong. They'll make that recovery, and they'll be riding high again in the very near future. Fans cheering for the new World Television Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Our first of 3 title matches for you this evening. U.S. Tag Team titles also on the line later on. The champions, Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner, who had a successful defense last week over Baron von Raschke and Ivan Koloff. Tonight they will take on 2 more members of Paul Jones's army, the Warlord and the Barbarian. Also tonight, the big main event, World Heavyweight Champion Magnum TA will put the title on the line against the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, a top contender. So it could be a great night for Paul Jones. They are hoping to take a clean sweep of the title matches here this evening. Starting off with Nikita Koloff. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 267 pounds. Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff. Introducing the champion from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 270 pounds. He is the World Television Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream's first title defense could be a short reign for him. Nikita Koloff, one of the top contenders here in World Championship Wrestling. Our referee for tonight's match is none other than Bill Scott. Also tonight, fans, Dan Spivey takes on Brad Armstrong. We'll see Wild Bill Irwin tangle with Robert Gibson, one half of the tag team champions. Ron Simmons takes on Dutch Mantel, and Larry Zbyszko will wrestle Sam Houston. Collar and elbow tie-up. Koloff backs Rhodes against the ropes. Will we see a clean break here? Referees, no we won't. Cheap shot there by Koloff, and Dusty Rhodes now up in the face of Nikita. 15-minute time limit in this TV title match. Went for the kick there. Koloff caught the leg. Sweeps him over. And Nikita calling out to the crowd. Dusty favoring that knee. Good kick there by Koloff, staying on it. Beautiful backbreaker by the Russian Nightmare. Lateral press. Easy kick out by the American Dream. Referee Bill Scott also said that the foot was under the bottom rope. Gorilla press. And Koloff again in charge. The challenger looking very strong in the early going of this match. Stomped in between the eyes. Picks him up. Front face lock. Scoop slam. Koloff wants another championship. He is a former U.S. champion. He lost that title to Sting. Sting had a successful title defense last week against Koloff, but Koloff was in line for a TV title shot. If he had regained the U.S. title last week, that opportunity would have been forfeited, and we would have had a different challenger for Rhodes. Rhodes carries Koloff to the ropes. Beautiful slingshot. And Koloff paying him back, stomped him right in the leg. Or excuse me, Rhodes paying him back. And now Nikita picks him up, neck hang, throws him across the ring. Koloff keeps calling out to the crowd, waiting for their approval. He won't get it, because he is against one of the fan favorites here, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Beautiful one-handed bulldog. Front face lock. And Koloff goes to the eyes. He clawed the man's eyes, and Rhodes swinging blindly there. Beautiful military press. Now stomps the head of Dusty Rhodes. Koloff now applying the shoulder claw on the American Dream. What a main event we have in store this evening. Rhodes going for the pile driver. Can he get him up? Yes, he can. He rocked him with that pile driver. And Koloff rolls outside. He'll talk things over with Baron von Raschke. Raschke now up in the face of Dusty Rhodes. What a feud they had earlier this year. Rhodes came out on top in that feud. But Baron has not forgotten how much he hates the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes now picks him up, puts him on the top rope, drapes him down. Koloff trapped in the corner. Some payback there. The kick to the throat. And now Rhodes dropping all the way down on the Russian Nightmare. He walloped him. And Koloff is down. The challenger in trouble. The champion in control. Drives the knee to the lower back. And Koloff again in trouble. Rhodes with a cover after stomping that arm. The arm he uses. The arm Nikita uses for that Russian sickle. Koloff able to kick out. Our first of 7 matches for you here this evening. 3 are championship matches. Rhodes wearing down Koloff. Koloff trying to get to his feet. Drives the elbow to the midsection. Front face lock, reversal by Rhodes. And Rhodes going for the suplex. Can he get him up? He's going to suplex him on the chair. Baron von Raschke threw that chair in the ring. Thankfully, Koloff did not land on it. Would have hurt his own partner. Good kick out there by the challenger. And Nikita shakes it off. What a knee right to the mouth. And then Koloff now measuring the champion. Rakes the back. He clawed the back of Rhodes. And a Russian leg sweep. Baron von Raschke up on the apron. He was trying to unfasten that top turnbuckle. Referee Bill Scott performing maintenance now in the ring. Less than 10 minutes remain in the time limit. Double axe handle, and down goes the champion. Cover 1, 2. Rhodes just got the shoulder up. The TV title is Dusty's first championship here in World Championship Wrestling. Koloff with a backbreaker. And so far that chair has not come into play. Referee Bill Scott needs to get it out of the ring. But he has been busy officiating this matchup. Sweeps the leg. Good right hand. Just connected. Takes Koloff to the corner. Up against the ropes now. And Dusty. What's he going to do here? Head of steam. Off the ropes. Rhodes drives all the way down on the back of the neck of Nikita Koloff. Face first goes the Russian Nightmare to that top turnbuckle. Vicious chop there by Rhodes. And Rhodes now stomps the arm again. And finally, referee Bill Scott throws that chair out of the ring. Rhodes now jabbing the challenger. Winds up. Down goes Koloff. And there's Roski yelling at Dusty Rhodes. Roski comes to the aid of his partner, Nikita Koloff. And Koloff's slow to get to his feet. If Dusty had been able to make the cover, it might have been over right there. Nikita going for the pile driver. Returns the favor. Rhodes delivered it earlier. And this time, Nikita rocked him with that pile driver. Nikita taking some time to recover. Saw him working that arm. He has sustained a lot of damage to that arm early on. Went for the camel clutch. Referee Bill Scott said Rhodes' feet were under the ropes and called for the break. Rhodes now in trouble. The big boot right to the face. Right in the gullet. And now Koloff choking away on the American Dream. Koloff picks him up. Front face lock. There's the bear hug. The Russian bear hug. We might have a new champion crowned right here. Can Rhodes get out of this? Koloff has it locked in. Rhodes drives the elbow. And again, claps the ears, and that forces Koloff to make the break. Leaping elbow drop. And again, Baron von Raschke yelling at Dusty Rhodes, and Rhodes allowing himself to be distracted. Look out from behind. Koloff getting to his feet. Rhodes caught him, turns him over, cover, wraps up the leg, and again, there's Raschke. 1, 2, 3, had the man pinned. Raschke has been thrown out here. He's been ejected, and here comes a bionic elbow that busted open Nikita Koloff. And referee Bill Scott's still yelling at Baron von Raschke. Raschke refusing to go to the dressing room area. And finally, Raschke, risking suspension and fines, concedes, and he is headed to the locker room. Rhodes now suplexing Koloff back into the ring. Koloff is lacerated, the forehead bleeding. Running knee right to the face, and down goes the champion. And Koloff with a camel clutch, and this time he is far from the ropes. Referee Bill Scott checking in to see if Rhodes wants to call it quits right here. Rhodes trying to pry the hands away, and he does. Trips up the Russian Nightmare. His face is a crimson mask. Rhodes has him up. Drops him throat first over the top rope. Dusty now picks him up. Applies the shoulder claw. Both men are spent. Slams him down. And now it's Rhodes looking for the submission. Looking for the submission win over Nikita Koloff. Referee Bill Scott checking in. It's over. He did submit. Koloff just submitted. Fans stunned. Koloff had nowhere to go to break the hold. And I think the loss of blood just getting to the Russian Nightmare. He gives up here, and Dusty Rhodes retains the World Television title. Impressive victory over Nikita Koloff in a first successful title defense for the American Dream. Koloff will require medical attention. So Baron von Raschke's interference comes to nothing. The American Dream still your champion.
Here is your winner, and still World Television Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Singles action. Dan Spivey to take on Brad Armstrong.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 293 pounds, Dangerous Dan Spivey.
Dan Spivey looking to move up the rankings here in World Championship Wrestling. He could do just that with a win over the red-hot Brad Armstrong. Fans showing their disapproval for the Dangerous One. Later on, one half of the World Tag Team Champions Robert Gibson takes on Wild Bill Irwin. Last week, after the Rock and Roll Express successfully defended the World Tag Team titles against the Midnight Express, we saw the Long Riders hit the ring. Wild Bill Irwin and Black Bart, they attacked the Rock and Roll Express. They made it known they won a World Tag Team title shot at Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. Tremendous ovation for Brad Armstrong.
And his opponent from Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brad Armstrong.
Later tonight, the U.S. Tag Team titles on the line. The champions Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner taking on the Powers of Pain. Paul Jones hoping to have better success in his last two title matches here this evening. Things did not go as planned, with Nikita Koloff submitting to Dusty Rhodes. Also, Dutch Mantel tangling with Ron Simmons. Sam Houston taking on Larry Zbyszko. 10-minute time limit in this one. Good takedown by Dangerous Dan Spivey. He is 6'7". And he is all muscle. And he is taking it to Brad Armstrong. We've seen Armstrong pick up a lot of wins as of late, but he has not faced a man as big as Dan Spivey. Good punch to the gut there by Armstrong. Whips him in. Good leapfrog. High cross body. Down goes Dan Spivey. The fans here in Atlanta love Mr. Armstrong. Swinging neckbreaker. Weeks ago, we saw Armstrong come so close to capturing that TV title against Arn Anderson. Flying elbow drop off the top rope. Cover. Hooks the leg. 2. Near fall. Armstrong would love to get another crack at that gold. All the titles currently held by friends, however. But still, Armstrong would love to challenge, perhaps for the TV title, US title, or world title. Sunset flip almost had the man pinned. But Dan Spivey may have something to say about that. He would love to send Armstrong crashing down the rankings. Beautiful slam there by Dangerous Dan Spivey. Spivey could very well be a top contender to the TV title, US title, even the World Championship. Working the arm. Spins him around. Beautiful move there by Brad. Looking for the submission win. That is the move that we just saw Dusty Rhodes use to defeat Nikita Koloff. Russian leg sweep from Armstrong. Beautifully executed. Running elbow drop. Spivey moved out of the way. Armstrong might have caught him a glancing blow, but did not catch him fully. Into the ropes. Knee to the midsection. And again. And for the second time, looking for that Russian leg sweep. Beautifully done. And again, Armstrong trying to make Spivey submit. You can be sure these two men will be in the lethal lottery in the coming weeks. Spivey toying with Armstrong, rolls him up, small package. Can he hold him down? No. Armstrong kicked out before the count of 1. Spivey has him up. Throws him up and over the top rope. Again, for those of you watching, that is not a disqualification in World Championship Wrestling. Spivey drives Armstrong face first into the apron. Throws him back in the ring. Spivey yelling at the referee. Double axe handle. Spivey just toying with Armstrong now. Stalking him. Clubbing blow right to the top of the head. Spivey now has Armstrong. Slings him off the ropes. Solid kick there by Dangerous Dan Spivey. Spivey looking perhaps his best so far we've seen him here in World Championship Wrestling. But Armstrong has him up, deadlifting Dan Spivey. Power slam, he drove him almost through the mat. Now Brad going up top, high risk move. Fans cheering, waiting for Armstrong to come off the top rope. Drives the fist to the top of the head. Cover, hooks the leg. Can he hold him down? 1, 2. A near fall. Spivey just kicked out. Armstrong cranking the neck. Slams the head against the mat. Now turns him over. Boston Crab. Can he make Spivey submit? Can he make him give up right here? Referee checking in. Spivey using the strength in the legs to power out. Clubbing blow there by Dan Spivey. Brutal punch. Picks him up. And drops him throat first over the top rope. That might have knocked the man out. This could be all. 1 count only. 5 minutes left in the time limit. Armstrong getting his bearings here. Goes out of the ring and back in. Executes a great fireman carry takeover. Armstrong spins around and drives Spivey to the mat. Armstrong not done with him. He is going for the Russian leg sweep. But a great counter by Dan Spivey. The big short arm clothesline. And a good counter there by Armstrong. What a matchup here in World Championship Wrestling. Armstrong working over the leg. We are fast approaching 4 minutes left in the time limit. Into the ropes goes Spivey. Deep arm drag. And a cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Smart move by Dan Spivey. He grabbed the bottom rope. And that breaks the count. Thankfully, referee Bill Scott saw it. Into the corner goes Spivey. Charging in is Armstrong. Monkey flip. Armstrong working fast here. He is racing against the clock. Flying elbow drop. Did not go for the cover. Picks him up. Whips him into the corner. Stalking in. Puts him up on the top rope. What's Armstrong going to do? Japanese arm drag from the middle rope. And a cover by Armstrong. Wraps up the leg. Can he hold him down? A 2 count. Spivey kicked out. Fans loving the action here in World Championship Wrestling. Armstrong stalking Spivey now. Discus punch. And down goes Dangerous Dan. Armstrong picks him up. Going for that Russian leg sweep again, and he executes it. 3 minutes left. Armstrong with a cover. Wraps him up. 1. Can he hold him down? No! Spivey got the shoulder up. We do not see Armstrong complain often, but he just said the referee Bill Scott was a slow count. He thought it was a 3 count. Spins around now. Sunset flip. Can he take him down? Yes, he can. 1. Middle of the ring. 2. Near fall. That was 2.5. Armstrong trips him up. Turns him over. Going for the quick cover. Bridges. Has him pinned down. Can he hold him down? 2. No. 2 3/4. Spivey somehow he kicked out. He kicked out. Inverted DDT. And again, Armstrong working fast. Another cover. The leg hooked. Referee slow to get into position and Spivey kicks out. 2 minutes left in the time limit. And Armstrong keeping the foot on the gas. He is going for the Boston Crab. He's looking for a submission win. He tried and tried again to pin Dan Spivey to no avail. And now trying to make the big man submit. But Spivey able to power out. And Spivey now fighting back. Spivey looking for the comeback. Throws him up and over. Armstrong grabbed onto the top rope to prevent crashing to the floor. Spivey going to suplex him back into the ring. Great maneuver there by Dangerous Dan. And Dan looking for perhaps the powerbomb. Armstrong caught the leg and takes down Spivey. We're down to almost 1 minute left. This one could very well end in a time limit draw. Armstrong throws him back into the ring. Brad going up top. High risk maneuver. Flying elbow drop to the lower back. And now Brad picks up Dan Spivey. Looking for that Russian leg sweep, and he executes it. Cover, 50 seconds left. Can he hold him down? He's kicked out before, but not this time. And Brad Armstrong picks up the hard-fought win. Great victory over dangerous Dan Spivey, and Armstrong continues to propel up the rankings in World Championship Wrestling. It seems inevitable that he will get a title match in the very near future. Great showing here from Dan Spivey. Armstrong just too much for him tonight. Unable to stop that train, the train that is Brad Armstrong. He is riding a momentum wave.
Here is your winner, Brad Armstrong.
A wave of momentum, and it continues here tonight. Don't go away, wrestling fans. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. The singles action continues now. Wild Bill Irwin challenging one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Robert Gibson. There you see Wild Bill making his way to the ring.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Texas, weighing in at 250 pounds, Bill Irwin.
Wild Bill has looked very impressive in singles action. He has picked up a lot of wins. Also in tag team action. But tonight he is going one-on-one with one half of the tag team champions, Robert Gibson. And fans, that match has been signed for WCW Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. Our first match to announce, and that is the Rock and Roll Express will put the tag team titles on the line against the Long Riders. That Clash of the Champions will take place on Saturday, September 27th. So 3 weeks from tonight. As we officially embrace fall and the fall season and everything that comes with that. My favorite time of the year.
And his opponent from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 234 pounds, one half of the World Champions, Robert Gibson.
Ricky Morton not in the building tonight. I don't believe Black Bart is either, so that's good. It is one-on-one here. Robert Gibson looking for revenge after Wild Bill attacked. Along with Black Bart, they attacked Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson last week. Raining on their parade, they had just defeated the Midnight Express to retain the tag team titles. 10-minute time limit in this one. Gibson wasting no time. Takes down Wild Bill Irwin. Side headlock takeover. Trying to ground Wild Bill. Good escape there by Bill. Went for the stomp, nobody home. Bill was going for a slow punch. Gibson was able to catch it in time and block it and deliver one of his own. Wild Bill rolls to the outside. Gibson in pursuit. Could be a mistake here by Robert Gibson. He might be luring him into a trap, and that's what he did. He kicked him with that big cowboy boot as he came back into the ring. Wild Bill raking the eyes of Robert Gibson. Referee did not see it. Claws the back. And Wild Bill playing dirty here tonight, to no one's surprise. But an excellent Russian leg sweep stops the momentum. And now Gibson going for the cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. And a kick out by Wild Bill. Gibson tells referee Bill Scott to count faster. Clubbing blow there by Gibson. Into the corner. Went for the monkey flip, nobody home, and Wild Bill executes a great one-handed bulldog. Picks up Gibson. Tremendous backbreaker. And Robert in trouble. Elbow. So fans, I officially said goodbye to my gas-powered lawnmower. It lasted 10 years. It kicked the bucket last week, and I purchased an electric, battery-powered lawnmower. We'll see how that one does. Cover here by Wild Bill. 1. The old lawnmower started leaking oil, and I noticed probably the last 2 months of using it, the grass wasn't even very high, and the engine would just cut out. It would die. But 10 years, I think, is pretty good for a mower. It was a Briggs and Stratton. Camel clutch here by Wild Bill. Robert Gibson escapes. Big right hand. Here in Ohio, where I live, grass cutting season's coming to an end very soon. Drops him throat first over the top rope. I'm not a mechanic. Charge again. Good monkey flipper by Gibson. So I wheeled the old mower down the driveway, parked it on the curb, and I stuck a sign on the handle, taped the sign to the handle, just said free on it. I just gotten back in the house, maybe 5 minutes, and I heard a tailgate crash. I looked out the window, saw a burly guy hoisting it into the back of his rusty truck. He drove off with it. Hopefully he can repair it. Wild Bill putting the boots to Robert Gibson. Gibson's going to need repair here later by our medical team if he endures much more punishment from Wild Bill Irwin. And now Wild Bill clawing the eyes of Robert Gibson. Picks him up. And to the corner. Down goes referee Bill Scott. Referee is down. And what's Wild Bill going to do? He's going outside. He is looking for a weapon. It's a sledgehammer, but luckily Bill Scott is trying to get that sledgehammer away from Wild Bill and succeeds. Throws it outside. Bill taunting referee Bill Scott. You don't want to do that. Snapmare there by Robert. Chinlock. Wild Bill was too worried about the referee, and that's allowed Robert Gibson to get back in this match. Good jawbreaker there by Wild Bill. And Bill now rings the arm. Overhand wrist lock. Takes Gibson to the mat. Fast approaching 5 minutes remaining in the time limit. And Bill again taking those cowboy boots to the eyes and follows it up with clawing, raking to the eyes. Gibson in trouble. There's the bear hug. That might be all for Robert Gibson. We've seen Irwin secure many victories with this submission move. Can Robert Gibson escape? With time running out, Gibson maintains the composure. That's what you want to do. Driving the elbow to the side of the head. Now claps the ears. And that disturbance in the equilibrium will force Wild Bill to break the hold. Power slam. Cover. 1. Middle of the ring. Leg hooked. A 1 count only. Gibson with a swift kick to the neck. And now Robert. He's going to put Wild Bill away right here. Perhaps with a drop kick. No, he was going for the bulldog, but a good block there by Wild Bill Irwin. Solid punch right to the ribs. And now cracks the knee. Picks him up. Went for the bear hug again, but this time Robert saw it coming. Returns the favor with a claw to the eyes. And the elbow drives down Gibson. Middle of the ring. He's got him pinned. Gibson just got the shoulder off the mat in the nick of time. Some great matches here coming our way this evening. We've seen 3 so far. Wild Bill. There's the bear hug again, middle of the ring. And he's got it locked in. That's going to be all for Robert Gibson. There is no way he can escape a second time. Or can he? Gibson rallying, feeding off the energy from the crowd. Again, Gibson trying to fight free. Can he get out of it? Can he get out? Yes! Gibson out again. Runs him over with a shoulder tackle. Drives all the way down to the lower back of Wild Bill. 3 minutes left in the time limit. Might have been a loose shot there from Wild Bill Irwin. Referee did not see it. And now Bill again, fans standing. He planted him with that big cowboy boot to the face. I think that knocked him out. That knocked him out. He could count to 10. Impressive win over one half of the tag team champions. Impressive win by Wild Bill Irwin here this evening. Gibson fought hard, but Wild Bill prevails. What a headbutt earlier on. I think that was when I was jabbering about lawnmowers. A good matchup here on World Championship Wrestling. And Wild Bill going to the pay window.
Here is your winner, Bill Irwin.
Don't go anywhere, fans. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. U.S. Tag Team titles are on the line. The Powers of Pain challenging the U.S. Tag Team champions Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. Paul Jones's Army hoping for more success. They are hoping to shake off that loss earlier by Nikita Koloff and secure those U.S. Tag Team titles once more. They've held them in the past. Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke were the former U.S. Tag Team champions before the titles switched hands to Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert. In fact, it was Gilbert and Steiner with a successful defense last Saturday over Koloff and Raschke, the former champions. Missy Hyatt leading her champions to the ring. Definitely things even. It is 3-3. Some might say that Missy Hyatt is a lady and cannot equal Paul Jones, but Missy Hyatt is as tough as they come. She's afraid of no man, and she lends great managerial experience at the corner, or in the corner, of Gilbert and Steiner. Hyatt now the manager of Lex Luger, as you saw last week. Big surprise. Some thought it was no surprise since Sting also joined. Sting and Luger, close friends. So Missy currently managing two champions. Can she hold on to the belts here this evening? Let's go down to our ring announcer.
United States Tag Team Warlord, the Barbarian, on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 621 pounds, Warlord and the Barbarian, the Powers of Pain. Warlord, the Barbarian, and their opponents at a combined weight of 500 pounds, they are the United States, the Gremlin, Rick Steiner, and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Should be a great matchup here for the titles. Bill Scott collecting the belts. Still to come, Ron Simmons takes on Dutch Mantel. Larry Zbyszko takes on Sam Houston. And of course our big main event, the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff. What a challenger he is. A top contender here in World Championship Wrestling. He is taking on Magnum TA. Heavyweight title on the line. 15-minute time limit in this title matchup. Warlord putting the boots to Rick Steiner. Let me know your thoughts on the time limits. It seems like it's helped the matches. It seems like we've seen a lot more competition here with these time limits. They're a lot more competitive is what I'm trying to say. Into the corner. Warlord charging in. Steiner moved out of the way. Steiner tried to run over Warlord. That was like trying to run into a Mack truck. And Warlord with a big power slam. Steiner, though, reversal. Steiner line. He floored the Warlord. And Steiner running about. Again, tried that shoulder tackle. The Warlord just hammering Rick Steiner. You will not match Warlord's strength per strength. Very few can. Tag made to the Barbarian. The Powers of Pain would love to take home those U.S. Tag Team titles. What a pay raise that'd be for them. Steiner slips free. Attacks the leg. Good kick there by Rick. And a DDT. Cover. Leg hooked one. A 1 count only. Steiner good go behind. Waistlock. And a beautiful takedown. Steiner. Camel clutch just sitting down on the back of Barbarian. Wrenching back on the chin. But Barbarian fighting free. Somersaults Rick Steiner over. And already 2 minutes have elapsed in the time limit. Gorilla press by Barbarian slams him down. Steiner measures him. Backing up. He'll make the tag to Eddie Gilbert. Barbarian back in. What a right hand there by Barbarian. He floored him with a clothesline. That is not how Gilbert wanted to be greeted. But that's how it went down. Double attack there by double chop. And another knife edge chop. Gilbert slips free. Inverted atomic drop. Great move there by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And now Gilbert has him up. Slingshot suplex. Beautifully done. And that pleased Missy Hyatt. Hyatt, of course, the manager of Hot Stuff International, consisting of U.S. Tag Team Champions Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner, U.S. Champion Sting, and the Total Package Lex Luger. All the titles currently held by fan favorites. So that leaves Luger and Sting. If they wanted to team up perhaps and challenge for a title, they'd have to take on either fellow stable members or fellow friends in the Rock and Roll Express. Luger also would have a tough go at it. Rick Steiner went for a cheap shot. He delivered that one. And Warlord let him have it. What a forearm shot that sent Steiner sailing off the apron. Steiner shook it off quickly. He has a hard head. One. Steiner too late to break up the pin, but it didn't matter because Gilbert kicked out on his own accord. Good clothesline there by the Warlord. Runs over Eddie Gilbert. As I was saying, Luger in singles action would have to go after friends as well. Eddie Gilbert talking things over with Missy Hyatt. She told him to get in there and help out Rick Steiner. He is being mauled right now by the Warlord. Gilbert wailing away on Warlord, but Warlord just shaking off those blows. A swinging neck breaker. Cover here. One. Steiner was not even the legal man. And Warlord was just pummeling him. He just pummeled him. Barbarian breaks up the pin. What a right hand by Gilbert. Finally, Steiner able to leave the ring. 10 minutes remain in the time limit. So Luger would have to challenge either Dusty Rhodes, his own partner Sting, or Magnum TA right now. 1, 2. A 2 count. Warlord kicks out. Fan favorites controlling the titles in World Championship Wrestling. Gilbert introduces Warlord to that top turnbuckle 10 times. And now the tag is made and Gilbert's going to hop off the top rope. He was going to go after Warlord, but Warlord made the tag. And now Gilbert and Steiner are really turning this match around after a slow start. Gilbert dragging Barbarian. And now drives the fist between the eyes. I think he cut him in the bridge of the nose. Front face lock. Jawbreaker. We're going to try to have that complete list for you of the 60 men competing in. Now it's Barbarian's turn to become acquainted with that top turnbuckle. He gets the same amount of introductions, 10. In the coming weeks, we'll have that list for you. Good jabs there by Gilbert, right to the breadbasket. Grabs the ankles, yanks him out of the corner. Gilbert on fire here. He is a house of fire. Into the corner goes the Barbarian. And a tag made to the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner. Steiner leaps to the second rope. Double axe handle right to the bicep. Plants him with that German suplex. He rocked him. And Barbarian doesn't know what week he's in right now. Tag made to the Warlord. Warlord charging in. Thunderous lariat. A cover. One. Could have new champions. Gilbert makes the save. I think it would have been over right there if Eddie Gilbert had not intervened. Went for the clothesline. And Warlord just dumped him up and over the top rope. And the Warlord going to put away Rick Steiner right here. Good escape by Steiner. I think Warlord was going for that Cobra twist or that Cobra clutch. That submission maneuver. And now Steiner eyeing Warlord. Steiner line. He rocked him. Wastes no time in making the cover. Hooks the leg and secures the win. Another successful defense for the U.S. Tag Team Champions. They are on fire here in World Championship Wrestling. Hot Stuff International secures the U.S. Tag Team titles for another week. And they currently possess 2 championships, both U.S. titles. Great comeback win by Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. Fans notice something. Midnight Express! They've hit the ring! They came out of the crowd! I didn't even see them there! Where were they? They just took out referee Bill Scott, and they have attacked Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert. The Midnight Express, the former World Tag Team Champions, apparently now setting their sights on the U.S. Tag Champs. They've attacked Steiner and Gilbert. They've just wrestled a match. Missy Hyatt fled. I don't blame her. But Steiner and Gilbert need some help. Fans, we've got to take a timeout. We'll stay with you as long as we can, but we got to take a timeout. We'll be right back. Thanks to our security team for breaking up that melee, but Steiner and Gilbert really took a walloping. I don't know how long the cameras stayed with you.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Texas, weighing in at 224 pounds, Dirty Doug Mantel.
Dirty Dutch Mantel taking on the All-American Ron Simmons. And fans, Gilbert and Steiner are being treated by our medical team. They were attacked by the Midnight Express, if you're just tuning in. Gilbert and Steiner had just defeated a tough team in the Powers of Pain. And the Midnight Express making their presence known. They came out of the stands. I didn't even see what area they came out of. Missy Hyatt took off. But she is now back in the dressing room area with her men, Eddie Gilbert and Ron.
His opponent from Warner Robins, Georgia, weighing in at 278 pounds, the All-American Ron Simmons.
Rick Steiner, I was going to say, not Ron Simmons. I was looking at him. Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner are being treated. Missy Hyatt's back there with them. Hopefully all is well with the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Meanwhile, Ron Simmons set to do battle with Dirty Dutch Mantel. Ten-minute time limit in this contest. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. Collar and elbow tie-up. Dutch Mantel backs Ron Simmons into the corner. Will we see a clean break here? Referee Bill Scott separating the men. And we will get a clean break. Very surprising. But there's a kick to the midsection by Dirty Dutch. And a hip toss. Looked more like a hip roll almost. Mantel off the middle rope. Drives the fist right between the eyes. And Mantel looking to prove himself here in World Championship Wrestling. He would love to knock off formerly one half of the U.S. Tag Team Champions. He and Sam Houston were the first champions. Kicks the leg. They lost those titles to Baron von Raschke and Ivan Koloff, who then lost them to Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. Big right hand there by Dirty Dutch. Just wailing away on Ron Simmons. Mantel's got him in the corner, but Simmons blocks it. And Simmons whips him into the corner. Look out, referee Bill Scott. Clothesline there by Simmons. And Ron turning this match around. Ron picks him up, kick to the midsection. Measures him. Beautiful neck breaker. Leaping elbow drop. Nicely executed. Simmons has him. Clubbing blow, big right hand. Cover, middle of the ring. Leg is hooked. Dutch Mantel kicks out. Again, these are two guys that need a win here tonight. They need to move up the rankings. Both men kind of lowly ranked. Good backbreaker. Simmons has focused on singles action as of late, after he and Houston lost those tag titles. We have seen Houston and Simmons team up since then. Chinlock here by Mantel. Both men likely, talking about Sam Houston and Ron Simmons, both men likely to be in the lethal lottery. So is Dutch Mantel. Anybody who's anybody is going to be in that big event, with the winner getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever the champion may be at that point. Cover here by Mantel, leg hooked. And Simmons with an easy kick out. Good block there by the All-American. Big spine buster. Wraps him up. That might be all. Simmons' foot was on the bottom rope. I don't think he was using it for extra leverage. It just happened to land there. Simmons will not break the rules. At least on purpose. Good move there by the All-American. Belly-to-belly suplex. And Simmons now off the ropes. Good kick there. What's Ron going to do? Middle of the rope. Flying elbow drop. So back in the Bill Watts days, there was actually a time when he banned any move off the top rope. Cobra clutch here by Ron Simmons into a modified STF, but Dutch Mantel was able to get to the ropes and force a break. Good block there by Mantel, moved out of the way, and a good drop toe hold. Good smart wrestling by Dirty Dutch Mantel. He just sidestepped Simmons, and now he's turning this match around, getting back into it. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg. Smart move. A 1 count only. Anyway, I didn't like that rule. Banning the top rope maneuver. Could you imagine if that had still been in place when the Cruiserweight division came about in the late 90s? Big right hand there by Mantel. I mean, you had Flying Brian Pillman at the time, too, back in the early 90s when this rule came into play. I think he said something like, too many guys were getting injured, but then yet he removed the mats outside the ring, which made no sense either. Kind of contradicted. And Simmons, again, unable to execute that shoulder tackle. Dutch Mantel just too quick for him, moving out of the way. Big right hand there by Mantel. Throws him up and over the top rope. Simmons grabs on for dear life. Good move there by Dutch Mantel. Sort of a stunner using the top rope. Great execution by Dirty Dutch. But Simmons throws Mantel back into the ring. A good counter. We have less than 5 minutes in the time limit. Again, Mantel just so crafty, able to avoid the attacks of Ron Simmons. Simmons went for that clothesline. Mantel just moved out of the way. Mantel has studied his opponent here tonight, and it's showing. But right now, Simmons back in control with the neck hang. Pounds the chest and flexes. Mantel collapses to the floor. Mantel ready for him. A suplex out there. Right on that hard floor, which has a thin covering over it. 4 minutes left in the time limit. Simmons throws Mantel back in the ring. A knee to the lower back. Simmons fired up again, flexing for the crowd. Simmons now front face lock. Again applying the Cobra Clutch. STF submission move. Middle of the ring. Referee Bill Scott checking in. Will Mantel submit? Mantel driving the elbow to the jaw. And again. And a third time. And he breaks the hold. Might have broken Simmons' jaw as well. Good arm drag. Mantel really showing us something here tonight. He is looking for the upset victory. Fans cheering. What's Mantel going for? Front face lock. Good neck breaker. Mantel wasting time. He is favoring the back, it looked like. He saw him grab it when he first got up. And now working the arm. He is just stalking Ron Simmons. He was planning his next move, and here it comes. Can Simmons block it? Yes, he can. Not sure what Mantel was going for, but Simmons saw it coming. Vicious clothesline by Dirty Dutch. Ron rolls out of the ring, now back in. Cat and mouse. Down goes referee Bill Scott. Ron Simmons inadvertently hit the referee off the middle rope. Dutch Mantel moved out of the way, but could not avoid this maneuver. Big slam. Bill Scott slow to get up. Simmons measuring Dutch Mantel. Time ticking away here. About 2 minutes left. Running power slam. Again, Simmons' foot is on the rope. Referee didn't see it. Near fall. Mantel kicked out. 2.5. Simmons complains of a slow count. He's lucky that the referee didn't tell him to get that foot off the rope. 2 minutes left. Big slam once again. This time middle of the ring. Leg hooked. Can he hold him down? Yes. And Ron Simmons with a hard-fought victory. He might have underestimated Dutch Mantel here this evening, but he does secure the victory. Great showing from Dirty Dutch Mantel. And I'm eager to see him in more matches in the coming weeks. And there you see it. Both feet on the ropes. I don't think he was using it for leverage, however. If he was, he would have chosen a higher rope than the bottom one. And there you see that running power slam. The foot again lands on the rope. Not being used for leverage. You can see that clearly.
Here is your winner, the All-American Ron Simmons.
It is Sam Houston taking on Larry Zbyszko. What a match that's going to be. That is coming your way next. Thank you for staying with us. Time for singles action once more. The living legend Larry Zabiscoco, along with his manager Medusa, making their way to the ring.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Medusa. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 233 pounds, the living legend.
Zbyszko exacted revenge on Tommy Rich last week, defeating him in 2 straight falls. Zbyszko now with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. All those matches against Tommy Rich. 2 wins and 1 losses against Mr. Rich. And now Zbyszko taking on Sam Houston as Zbyszko hopes to move up the rankings here in World Championship Wrestling. Houston hoping to do the same with a win. Zbyszko would love to challenge Dusty Rhodes. Maybe Sting, maybe even Magnum TA if he's still the world champion after tonight.
And his opponent from Texas, weighing in at 218 pounds, Sam Houston.
Sam Houston, a former U.S. Tag Team Champion. He has focused on singles action as of late, and he has secured a lot of wins in a row, hoping to continue that trend here tonight. This is a big match for both men. I think Sam Houston has to be considered the favorite in this matchup. We've seen him knock off a lot of opponents as of late in World Championship Wrestling. Coming up next, fans, the big world title match, the one you've been waiting for. Magnum TA putting the belt on the line against the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. Paul Jones's Army has not fared well here tonight so far, but they could put all that behind them with a victory. A world title victory here tonight. 10-minute time limit imposed on this one. And Zabisco and Sam Houston locking horns. Side headlock here by Houston. Good headlock takeover. Medusa, of course, in the corner of the living legend. Nice reversal by Larry Zbyszko. Headlock. Switches to an overhand wrist lock. Trying to drive Houston to the mat, but Houston with a reversal. And now applies a strong headlock. Good chain wrestling to start off this contest. Good takedown again by Houston. Big right hand, and Houston won that exchange. They'll lock up again. Good go behind by Sam Houston, waist lock. Beautiful takedown, good move by Houston. He wins again that exchange. And he is out wrestling Larry Zbyszko. You don't hear that said often. But Sam Houston, a fine young man, a finely skilled wrestler. And a beautiful snap suplex by Houston, and Larry Zbyszko rolls out of bounds. He needs a timeout. Medusa cheering him back into the ring. He'll talk things over with her briefly. Sam Houston in pursuit. And Zabisco beats him with a right hand. A cheap shot there by the living legend. Suplex and bridge. One. Houston quickly kicks out. Larry needed to get Houston off his game. And I think he did just that. Cover here. One. Houston gets the shoulder off the mat. Picks him up. Front face lock. Fireman carry takeover. Chin lock here by the living legend, and now he is really taking it to the youngster. Larry Zbyszko in command. Houston getting to his feet. Elbow to the midsection, and again, fans now behind Houston. They want to see this young man knock off Larry Zbyszko here this evening. Takes him to the ropes. Slingshot. And Medusa, very concerned now. Into the corner. Charge again. Vicious clothesline to the back of the head. And Zbyszko now, he's had enough here. He is leaving the arena, it would seem. Or leaving the wrestling area. Sam Houston going after him. Zbyszko thinking better of it. I think it was a ploy there. He caught Houston by surprise. It was a trap that Larry Zbyszko laid for him. He caught him with that clothesline. And now Zbyszko getting a much needed timeout. Sam Houston back in the ring. Don't take your eyes off Larry Zbyszko, Sam. And there you saw the inexperience coming into play of Sam Houston. Took his eyes off his opponent. But here's Houston. Rebound. Sweeping the leg. Taking down Larry Zbyszko. And now whips him into the corner. Charging in, but Zbyszko caught him flush with an elbow. Right to the jaw. And now drops him gut first over the knee. Camel clutch applied by the living legend. Trying to force a submission from Sam Houston. I don't think there's any quit in Sam Houston. Good low kick there to the knee. Spins him around. And again, Houston's got him dazed. Snake eyes. He dropped him face first over that top turnbuckle. The pin gets a 1 count only. Houston did a good job of hooking the leg, but Zbyszko just too strong, able to kick out. Has Larry up now. Drops him throat first over the top rope. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the time limit. Houston going up top. High risk maneuver. Off the top. Good job by Larry, or by Sam rather, driving that fist to the top of the head. Sam feeding off the energy from the crowd. What a right hand. He rocked Larry Zbyszko. Now Sam going up top once more. This is a high-risk move personified. He is waiting for Zbyszko to get to his feet. Could be a long wait. He might just take the count-out win. And Zbyszko back in the ring. Houston. What a right hand there by Larry. And again, Larry caught Houston by surprise. As Houston was trying to get back in the ring, Larry was ready for him. Belly-to-belly suplex. Cover. And a kick out there by Houston. His legs were under the bottom rope anyway. Camel clutch up live, but again, Houston too close to the ropes, and the referee calls for the break. Zabiscoco going after Bill Scott. He was right up in Bill Scott's face, yelling at him. Good knee to the midsection by Sam Houston. Beautiful drop kick. And down goes the living legend. And Houston with the ankle lock. Trying to force Zbyszko to submit. He's trying to grab that rope to break the hold. He's a long way from it. The ankle lock locked in. Referee checking in to see if Larry wants to call it quits. But Larry able to roll free and kick away his opponent. Good heads-up move by the veteran. Spins Larry around. Larry is a former AWA World Heavyweight Champion. Big right hand. Houston to the very top rope. Going for the superplex. And he nails him with it. Beautiful move there by Houston. And a cover. Hooks the leg. Middle of the... Who's the referee talking to there? One. A 1 count only. Referee was yelling at a fan. I think the fan was using some bad language directed at Larry Zbyszko. And Bill Scott ordered him to watch his tongue. Bill Scott can call for security to escort a fan out of the arena. Houston now trying to regain his composure, trying to catch his breath. But he's giving Larry Zbyszko time to get to his feet. Into the corner goes Zbyszko. Sam Houston follows him in. Reversal by Larry. Good move. Sam Houston with a knee right to the mouth. And now Houston off the middle rope. Beautiful drop kick. Nobody does it better than Sam Houston. And now Houston charging into the corner. Flying forearm shot. Down goes Zbyszko. And a drop kick to the mouth. Sam Houston pouring it on strong against Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko again rolls to the outside, trying to slow down the tempo. Right hand there by Larry. Medusa got caught up in the middle of him. Zbyszko now. He's gonna deliver a neck breaker on the floor. And I think Zbyszko's gonna take the count-out win. No, he picks up Sam Houston. Throws him back in the ring, and he's going to finish him off right here. Larry going up top. Unorthodox move for him. Can he land it here? 2 minutes left in the time limit. Off the top. And Sam Houston moved out of the way. Larry Zbyszko took way too much time on the top rope. He is not accustomed to that high-risk move. And it did not pay off for the living legend. Sam Houston puts him up on top. Might be going for that superplex once more. If he lands it, it could be over to the very top rope. Sam Houston now, can he get him up? He's got the tights. Beautiful move there by Houston. And Houston going for the bulldog, it would seem. He is stalking Larry Zbyszko. Can he lock it on? No, he can't. Good counter there by the living legend. He saw it coming. And he blocked it. Good move. And here's the armbar. Submission hold. Could be over for Houston. Houston unable to grab that bottom rope to break the hold. Zbyszko might break his arm. But Sam Houston able to roll free. Right hand there by Larry. Front face lock, and there's the arm bar again. Middle of the ring. He's going to break this youngster's arm. Sam's going to have to try to get out of it again, and he does. A good counter, less than a minute left in the time limit. Fireman carry takeover. Both men working fast, but it's Larry right now in control, focusing on the arm, and now the camel clutch. But Sam Houston was under the bottom rope, and the referee called for the break. Into the corner. Zbyszko stalking Sam Houston. Reversal by Houston. And now Sam spins him around. What's he going to do with him? Grabs him. Pole ram. He rammed the shoulder right into the ring post. And now Houston burying the knee into the throat. 20 seconds left. Houston's got to work fast here. Drags him to the middle of the ring. And here's the cover. He's got it hooked. One. No. Easy kick out by Larry. Sam's going to he's got to make another cover. Time running out. Head scissors. It's going to go to the time limit draw. Time limit draw. It's too late, Sam. He was going for the cover, but it's over. Time limit draw. We'll be right back.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Things definitely not settled between Larry Zbyszko and Sam Houston. I'm sure they'll meet again. Great matchup. Ended in a time limit draw. But meanwhile, what an opportunity for the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, a top contender to the World Heavyweight title. And he's getting his shot here tonight against Magnum TA, number 1 Paul Jones in the corner of the challenger. 30-minute time limit in this main event match. We'll bring you every minute of it, we promise. Some great matches here this evening. Hope you've enjoyed the program. And now let's see if Ivan Koloff and Magnum TA can blow the roof off of this place with this main event matchup. Paul Jones would love to manage a world champion. He has not done so yet here in World Championship Wrestling. But if any man can knock off Magnum TA, it's the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff. Koloff with so many weapons. He has that Russian bear hug and that Russian sickle. Also uses a sleeper to put away opponents. Magnum TA will have to avoid every one of those moves here this evening. Of course, he is the master of the belly-to-belly suplex. Picked up a win last week as Ric Flair challenged him for that world title in a rematch. Flair sustained an injury in that matchup, and he is out for at least 3 weeks, I'm being told. He is expected to return before the month of October, so later this month. The Horseman really limping right now. Tully Blanchard, the only guy who's not injured.
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 298 pounds. The Russian Gladiator, Irwin Koloff. Introducing the champion from Virginia Beach, Virginia, weighing in at 245 pounds. He is the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Magnum TA.
30-minute time limit in this one. World Heavyweight title on the line. Fans Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert have been tended to, and they are okay. They sustained no injuries in that U.S. Tag Team title match, nor in that attack that followed by the Midnight Express. And fans, we understand another match has been signed for the Clash of the Champions. Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner were quick to sign it. They want revenge. They're going to put the belts on the line against the Midnight Express in 3 weeks at the Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. Good elbow there by Russian Bear Ivan Koloff. Paul Jones looking on. Could this be Koloff's night? He would love to dethrone Magnum TA here in Atlanta, Georgia. Drags him to the middle of the ring. And Koloff puts the boot right to the eyes of Magnum TA. So 2 big matches signed for Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl on Saturday, September 27th. Chinlock here by the Russian Bear. Both in the tag team division, of course. And both title matches. The Midnight Express taking on Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner for the U.S. Tag Belts. And the Long Riders, Wild Bill Irwin and Black Bart taking on the Rock and Roll Express for the World Tag Team titles. And Koloff already celebrating. You got to pin your opponent first there, Ivan. Good leg drop there by the Russian Bear. Slams the wrist against the mat. Things definitely going Koloff's way until now. Magnum TA just swept the leg, but Ivan stays right on him. Good move here. Atomic drop. And a cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. A 2 count only. Good kick there by the Russian Bear. Koloff again puts the boot to the head of Magnum TA. And now Koloff grabs the boss. STF submission hold, but Magnum is close to the ropes. Just needs to reach over and grab that bottom rope to break the hold. Referee Bill Scott checking in, but Magnum drives the elbow right to the jaw and breaks the hold. Great job of escaping there by the world champion. Magnum calling out to the crowd, feeding off the energy. Clothesline there by Magnum. And a second. Just ran the man over off the ropes. Beautiful drop kick there by Magnum TA. And Magnum trying to turn things around. He's off to a slow start. Wrist lock here by Magnum. Overhand wrist lock. Ivan drives the fist to the midsection. And again, a third time. And that'll break the hold. What a headbutt there by Ivan in close quarters. Beautiful slam. And a cover by Ivan Koloff. 1, hooks the leg. 2, a 2 count. Magnum kicked out. And Ivan going to the eyes. But good block there by Magnum TA. A couple shots of the breadbasket. And now throws him up and over the top rope. Magnum in pursuit. They have until the count of 10 to get back in the ring. We do not want to see another count out in a world title match. Magnum's got him face first into the apron. Right into the side of the ring. His face was driven. Big elbow. Went for the clothesline. Nobody home. Ivan back in the ring. A count out win won't win you the world title though, Ivan. Magnum's back in. Belly to belly suplex. Insult to injury there from Ivan Koloff. Could he beat him with his own move? Middle of the ring. Leg hooked. 2. A 2 count only. Magnum able to kick out. Seen a lot of covers already early in this matchup. And there it is, the Russian Bear has it in. The Russian Bear hug. Can he force Magnum to submit here? Magnum in a lot of trouble. He's crushing the ribs of the world champion. Magnum trying to grab that top rope and break the hold to do anything to get out of this move. Ivan just so strong. But Magnum trying to force him to break it, and he will. Magnum was lucky to get out of that. Going for the pile driver, but Ivan backdrops him out of it. Good block there by the challenger. And a cover. Magnum kicks out. Bill Scott said he was in the ropes anyway. He was telling Ivan that he was in the ropes. Ivan rakes the eyes. And cracks the knee of the world champion. Slams the wrist against the mat. Shoulder claw applied by the challenger. That vicious nerve hold. Wearing down the world heavyweight champion. Ivan just shoves him down. 5 minutes already elapsed in this one. And he's going to lock it in again. He is looking for a quick win and a world title victory right here. And Magnum's in trouble. Magnum fading fast. Trying desperately to break the hold. And not to submit. There you see it. Ivan losing his grip. You can see him losing his grip, and he did. Good clothesline by the world champion. And I think that second bear hug just lit a fire under the champ. Good. He went for the right hand, but a good block there by Ivan Koloff. Went for the knee, nobody home. Magnum moved out of the way. Strikes him with a forearm shot to the face. And a beautiful neck breaker. And now number 1, Paul Jones, having words with the world heavyweight champion. providing the distraction from behind. Has him up. Atomic drop. Koloff picks up Magnum. Whips him into the corner. Charging in. Went for the big splash. Nobody home. Magnum moved out of the way. Off the ropes. Magnum caught him. Inverted tombstone pile driver. Paul Jones up on the apron. Big chop there by Magnum. Snap suplex by the boss. And he is back in this matchup. Magnum, middle of the ring. Hooks the leg. A 1 count only. Koloff kicked out. Magnum winded. He thought he had Ivan beat here. He is expressing his appreciation to the fans. They are clearly behind the champion here tonight. He is facing a tough opponent. And Ivan Koloff reminds me of those profiles that used to appear in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It would profile an opponent and just list things like toughest opponent. And right now, if you ask Magnum TA who that was, he would say Ivan Koloff. Boston Crab here applied by the challenger. Magnum using the strength in the legs to kick free. Went for the right hand. Koloff moved out of the way, but could not avoid that forearm shot by the boss. Chinlock. Just trying to wear down the challenger. Ivan has come at Magnum so strong here tonight. Magnum needs to wear him down. And Koloff getting to his feet. Magnum can't believe it. Look at the look of shock on the face of the champion. Ivan wants that World Heavyweight title. Snapmare. Trying to bend the arms back. Burying the knee right into the spine of Magnum. And Koloff showing himself worthy of this title matchup. And there it is, the sleeper. That is a move that Magnum needed to avoid. He's got him wrapped up, but lucky for Magnum TA, he was in the ropes, and the referee called for the break. Ivan putting the boots now to Magnum TA. Picks him up, and Magnum fighting back with a forearm shot. What an uppercut there by the heavyweight champion. And now drops him gut first over the knee. Magnum, he knows he has to weaken those arms. And that's what he's attacking now. Now a leg drop across the throat. He has been locked in that bear hug twice already. He can't do it once more. If Ivan can lock it in a third time, we're very likely to have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Ivan slips free. Elbow right to the jaw. Into the corner. Charge again. What a clothesline there by the champion. Ivan rolls out to the floor, trying to catch his breath. And now walks up the steps, gets back in the ring. Magnum's back in as well. Ivan taking a long time to get in. And that was a trap. That was a trap. He just lured Magnum to the ropes. But Magnum fights it off. Wasted too much time celebrating, though, and a side suplex takes him down. Ivan had just raked his eyes across the top rope. But Magnum shook it off. But now he is caught in that sleeper for the second time. And this might be all it takes for Ivan to secure that World Heavyweight title. Can Magnum somehow get out of this? Yes, he can. Never count out Magnum TA. 10 minutes have elapsed in this matchup. But I think to both Magnum and Ivan, it's felt like an eternity. Big side slam by Magnum TA, a modified version. 1, 2, 3. He had Ivan beat right there, but Paul Jones distracting the referee. That was a modified version of that belly-to-belly suplex. It would have been enough to pin Ivan Koloff, but Paul Jones just saved his man right there. He distracted referee Bill Scott. Magnum will not let it shake him, and he's locked in the camel clutch, trying to force a submission here over Ivan Koloff. Koloff grabs the wrists, pries the hands away, and trips up Magnum TA. Good escape. And Ivan going for the suplex. Can he get him up? Yes, he can. Beautiful move there by the challenger. And now Ivan scoops up Magnum. And here it is, a third time. This time, the middle of the ring. We're going to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion right here. Unless Magnum can somehow escape. This is the third time Koloff's had it locked in. And he is just crushing the ribs. World Heavyweight Champion Magnum TA in trouble. The title slipping away. Paul Jones can feel it. Look at him grinning. He's telling Ivan to squeeze him harder. Make him cry, uncle. Magnum locked in that bear hug. He is getting stronger. Magnum nowhere to go. He's been locked in it for quite some time now. Been closing in on a minute. The third time, Ivan's had it locked on Magnum TA. Fans roaring at Magnum not to quit. Don't quit, they're screaming. And Magnum trying to break free. Can he do it? Yeah, he's out. He was very fortunate right there. I thought it was over. Into the ropes. Is he going for the belly to belly? No, he's not. Knee to the midsection, and again. Ironic here, the Russian leg sweep on the Russian bear. And now Magnum knows he's got to weaken those arms. He's got to weaken those arms. Big forearm shot by the champion. Picks him up. Has him up. Spins him around. Drops him throat first over the top rope. He's looking for the belly to belly here. Can he lock it in? Yes, he can. There it is. That's got to be all. Cover. Leg hooked. And again, Paul Jones comes to the aid of his man, providing the distraction. Magnum had him pinned for the second time. And Paul Jones has been sent to the showers. Look at Paul Jones putting the hands together, pleading not to be sent away, but he has been. It was Baron von Raschke earlier sent to the locker room, this time Paul Jones. And now Ivan Koloff will have to do this alone. Nobody in his corner now. Koloff doesn't care, slams him down. Picks him up, but Magnum, reversal, good shoulder tackle. Takes down the challenger, and here's the cover. Leg hooked, one. A one count only, Ivan kicked out. What a matchup here for the World Heavyweight title. One of our best main events in recent memory. Cover here by Magnum. Leg hooked, one, two. Can he hold him down? No, he can't. A kick out there by the Russian bear. Picks him up. Beautiful suplex. Couldn't hold him down. He couldn't hold him down. Good leg drop there. He could not follow up with a pin. Picks him up. Went for the belly to belly once more, but he rakes the eyes. And now Koloff back in it. Good backbreaker by the challenger. And now some payback. He stomped his arm. And now Koloff locking in that STF submission hold once more. Another submission hold on Magnum TA. He almost forced him to submit earlier to the bear hug. Can Magnum escape this time? Koloff's got it locked in. Magnum kicking the feet around. 15 minutes have expired in this matchup. 15 minutes remaining in the time limit. Throws him up and over. He went crashing to the floor. This has been one of the most brutal matches we've seen in recent weeks. Ivan just threw him into the steel barricade. Now throws him back in the ring. Can he put him away? Boston Crab turns him over. Koloff says he wants to make Magnum give up. He's got that Boston Crab locked in, bending back on the legs. A lot of pressure to the lower back, as well as the legs of Magnum. Magnum kicks free, and that really rocked Ivan Koloff. Really knocked him for a loop. I think Koloff, his head bounced off the mat hard. Plus, this has been such a physical matchup. It's taking its toll on both men. Ivan has him. Great backbreaker. You know, once more, he wants to lock in that bear hug. If he locks it in a fourth time. If he locks it in a fourth time, he's going to. There it is. He's got it in. Magnum in trouble. Magnum has escaped 3 times. I don't think he's Harry Houdini. He's not going to get out a fourth time. Ivan squeezing on the ribs, trying to force Magnum to submit. And Ivan's getting stronger. The longer this is locked in, the worse it means for Magnum. But I think Magnum is going to try to get out once. There you see the hands are slipping, and he did. Somehow, Harry Houdini would have been proud. What a knee to the midsection. Clothesline in there by the champion. Magnum has somehow evaded that bear hug 4 times here tonight. Leg drop across the throat. What a champion he's proven himself to be here against this top challenger in Ivan Koloff. And this one's far from over. Both men look spent. Their legs are wobbly. Charging in. Ivan moved out of the way. Front face lock. Good counter there by Magnum. There you see it, Magnum favoring the back. His back has to be on fire right now. There it is! A modified version of the belly-to-belly out of nowhere. But Magnum was unable to make the cover. He's in a lot of pain. His ribs have to be hurting as well as his back. Cover. Easy kick out by the Russian Bear. You are watching World Championship Wrestling, the Major League of Professional Wrestling. What an elbow. That bloodied Magnum TA. His forehead's cracked open. What's Ivan doing? He stomped the hand of Magnum TA. And a kick to the lower back. Ivan knows it's only going to take one more bear hug, and he's going to be the world champion. STF submission hold. He'll take it this way too. He'll take it this way too. Magnum in a lot of pain. Referee might have to stop the match. The blood just flowing down into the eyes of the world champion. Getting the elbow in there. He jacked his jaw to break the hold. And Magnum with a knee to the midsection. Clothesline up and over goes Ivan Koloff. Sent him sailing to the floor. And Magnum follows. Picks him up. Good block by Ivan Koloff. Magnum was going to try to slam him on the floor, I think. And Magnum being sent shoulder first into those steel steps. Good elbow there by the world champion. Don't let it end in a double count out. Come on. Let's get it back in the ring. Magnum's got him. Throws him. No, he slammed him face first against the hard apron. Referee up to 6. Come on, get back in the ring. Ivan throws him back in. Yes, we are not going to get a double count out. At least not that we see there. Both men bloodied. And there it is, the sleeper hold once more. Ivan drives him to the mat. We are fast approaching 10 minutes left in the time limit. This one's gone almost 20 minutes. Magnum somehow able to carry Ivan off his back and throw him off. Big right hand there by the world champion. Low kick to the knee. Solid punch to the kidneys. Might have been to the ribs, rather. Big spinning elbow there by Magnum TA. And a leaping leg drop. They both gone for 20 minutes. Knee to the back of the head. Turns him over. He is going for the cover. Leg hooked. Can he hold him down? 1. A 1 count only. Somehow Ivan able to kick out. Solid kick to the back. Measures him. A punch right to that bloodied forehead. Both men have bloodied foreheads. This match taking its toll on both wrestlers. Magnum stalking Ivan Koloff. Could be going for the belly-to-belly. Can he get him? Yes, he can! Once again, wraps him up. Ivan was too close to the ropes. Referee called for the break. And Magnum drives the wrist against the mat. And Magnum again drags him to the middle of the ring. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Can he hold him down? No, he can't. Ivan kicked out. Ivan's face is a crimson mask. The blood has dropped to the chest. The blood has just run to the chest of Ivan Koloff. Magnum going up top. 8 minutes remain in the time limit. 8.5 minutes.
Flying clothesline by Magnum TA, and Ivan had the wherewithal to get out of the ring. Smart move by the challenger. If Magnum had made the cover, I think it would have been over. But Ivan had the smarts to get out of the ring. We're going to have to draw the cameras back here. It's getting pretty gruesome. The blood just pouring down from the forehead of Ivan Koloff. Ivan just takes down with that abdominal claw on Magnum TA, and the champion in trouble now. The champion's in trouble. Turns him over, Boston Crab. Ivan would love to hoist that world title high here tonight. Bring it home, bring it into the camp, rather, of Paul Jones's army, but good strength in the legs of the champion. Magnum picks him up. Big forearm shot. Belly-to-belly suplex again. But Magnum unable to make the cover, now does. Just fell on top of him. A good kick out there by Ivan Koloff. Magnum can't believe it. He has to be wondering, what do I have to do to put away this man? Leaping knee drop. Again, Magnum sizing up the challenger. Might be going for that belly-to-belly again. Yes, he does. And excellently executed. Cover. And another kick out. Actually, his foot was under the bottom rope. Magnum should have dragged him away from the ropes. Magnum sets him up. 7 minutes left in the time limit. This one might go to a time limit draw. Magnum flexing the arm. This has been a physical matchup. Picks him up. Has him up again. Drops him. Stomach first over the knee. And a knee again to the lower back. Referee needs to check on Ivan Koloff. The blood just pouring out of the forehead. Turns him over. Another cover. Middle of the ring. Hooks the leg. Can he hold him down? 1, 2. And a kick out by Koloff. Look at Magnum. Look at the frustration showing on his face. I think maybe the goal might not be to win at this point, just to survive the time limit. Good shoulder tackle. And somehow walk away with that world title, because Ivan Koloff has taken it to him. And there's the bear hug. Middle of the ring. We could be crowning a new champion in the matter of moments here. In a matter of moments. Was this the 5th time that Ivan's had it locked in? This time, middle of the ring. And somehow, the champion, just so much heart, so much resiliency, able to get out. Again, I think that was partly due to that blood loss from Koloff. Just did not have the strength. You saw Magnum working over the arms earlier. He did not have a good, firm grip on Magnum TA with that last bear hug. And that's lucky for the champion. That is very lucky for the champion. Magnum drags him to the middle of the ring. Koloff is out. Koloff's out. No, he kicked out. Fans love it. What a matchup for the world title. 5 minutes left in the time limit. Ivan will not quit. Neither will Magnum. And here it is. Turns him over, single leg Boston Crab. Referee checking in. He may have to stop the match. Ivan's in trouble. Ivan's in trouble. Can Ivan get out of this? Yeah, somehow. Why should we be surprised? Ivan will not quit, neither will Magnum. Magnum now, going for the pile driver. Can he get him up? Yes, he planted him. It's going to take knocking the man out to beat him. Magnum turns him over. This might be all. That pile driver might have been it. No, look at that. Ivan kicked out. Koloff kicked out. If Ivan Koloff didn't have any fans before this match, he does now. You got to respect a man like Ivan Koloff. Dumped him up and over that top rope, just hurled him over. What's Magnum going to do here? He's pulling out all the stops. The belly-to-belly on that hard floor. And Magnum says it's over now. He moves the hand across the throat. Big snap suplex on the floor. The belly-to-belly on the floor and a clothesline. He is just pouring it on. Maybe he's going to take a count-out win if Koloff can't respond. Throws him back in the ring. 3 minutes left of the time limit. He's going to turn him over. Cover. Hooks the leg. Middle of the ring. Can he hold him down? 2. Yes. Hard-fought win by Magnum TA. It took a belly-to-belly on the concrete floor. There was a little bit of padding out there, but still, that's not much comfort there given. And that's what it took to beat Ivan Koloff here tonight and retain that World Heavyweight title. What a matchup. And man, Ivan Koloff really took it to the world champion here this evening. I doubt Magnum's going to be too eager to give Ivan Koloff a rematch. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, and still WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Magnum TA.
Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. It's been a joy. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again next Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great week.